Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary, and today I have borrowed this 2022 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited from my friends at Hebert's Town & Country. We're going to take a quick look at what exactly makes this model up, because it does have the SCA Black Widow package. We're going to talk about what that adds, and then we'll just do our quick regular tour of exactly what you can expect to find if this is something you wish to buy. And other than minor changes to standard feature availability, there are no new changes for 2022 as far as the Jeep goes. And just in the event that you're new to the Jeep brand and you're thinking, is this something I want to buy? What exactly can you expect here? Well, pretty much unlimited capabilities as far as customization goes. You can change the tire size, you can change the height of the vehicle, raising the suspension. This model with the Black Widow package comes with a 3-inch suspension lift. Another change that you'll find here has to do with these very nice looking 20-inch wheels on this particular model. It just looks aggressive just by the overall design. And obviously with those tires, you can go pretty much anywhere. One of the great things about these Jeeps is you're gonna struggle to get stuck, to not be able to get out of whatever you might get into or help others get out of. Here on the front end, you will find the 2 red tow hooks. And you'll notice also this model does come with the winch already installed. And you not only have those tow hooks there on the front, we'll do a quick walk around here. You've got the red surround right here. So that's going to be part of that Black Widow package. Obviously, you've got the Black Widow badging right there. But here on the rear, you probably already caught a glimpse of it, maybe not, but you will have a single tow hook back here in the rear also. So that way, when you're out on the trail and you need to pull people out, you've got a few different options on that. They're not going to be pulling you out, are they? And the interior is most certainly not excluded with the black custom leather. You're going to find the Black Widow logo right there on the headrest. Also the Black Widow custom gauges. And it's going to be somewhat hard to show out here in the daylight, but there is also red LED lighting to accent this package. And of the available engine options, this is the 3.6 liter V6, and we did recently do a video on the hybrid powertrain that is also available in these Jeep Unlimited models. I will pin that down in the comments section if you want to check that out after you finish watching this video. But let's talk about what you'll find here as far as numbers go. 285 horsepower, 260 foot-pounds of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Gas mileage numbers come in at 18 miles per gallon city, 23 on the highway, a combined total of 20. And here's a number that might be a little surprising. Per every 100 miles you drive, you should use 5 gallons of gas. And while I mentioned earlier that you do have those 20-inch wheels at all 4 corners, they are wrapped with 37-inch tires. And obviously the speedometer and everything has been recalibrated appropriately. Also right here, you will find that the Black Widow logo has been stamped out right here basically, and you're going to have those side steps right there to help getting in and out a little bit easier. Having that 3-inch suspension lift obviously makes a difference, and even though you saw it earlier, it goes without saying it's important to have a full-size spare. Obviously that is what you have here. And if you want to tow with your Jeep, it will tow up to 3,500 pounds. Cargo capacity numbers are good at 27.7 all the way up to a maximized 67.4. And how do you maximize that? We're going to lower those rear seats. It's a lot easier to show you, and some of you might want to see that. Obviously, that's not that difficult to do. You're going to come right here. There's a latch on top of the seat, and then you can just lower the seat down. Not very hard to do, a little harder to do one-handed, but as you can see, that's what you do on both sides. We'll just use one side for now. And then here in the interior, with the removable hardtop that this model comes with, notice everything that you have here. You do have the built-in roll bar, and obviously the speakers are going to be built in as well. So when you take the top off, you can still enjoy listening to the radio or whatever it is you like. And obviously the doors are removable. I probably don't have to tell you that, and people might say, why would you say that in a Jeep video? Well, because you never know when somebody is learning about a Jeep for the very first time. And a quick look at the remote that the Jeep comes with. Very easy to use, very easy to figure out. And for the most popular question that I get, yes, it does have remote start, but if something unusual happens and you need a key, you do have one, although you will use push button start within the interior. And speaking of the interior, even though you got a little bit of a glimpse earlier, let's take a little bit closer look. Now, even though the doors won't be on all the time, when they are, there is somewhat of a door bin right here. It's more of a net style material, but it is there. Map pockets on the rear of the seats. Let's take a look at the rear of the console. You will see that there are air conditioning vents right there. And the controls for the windows, well, obviously they're going to be here on the console because of the doors being removable. And you've got connectivity options here, not only with the USB ports, but also with the power outlet down there that I just opened up, and cup holders right down here, conveniently located. That way, when the doors are off, the rear seat passengers don't lose the capability of somewhere to put their cups. And on the front doors, on the passenger and driver's side, you will find a larger, well, again, what do we call that? That's not really a door bin, a net right there, just a little storage area. And if you're looking for some gloss within your interior, well, here you go. It's not flat black or anything like that, just to show you what's there. And obviously, there's a grab bar right here. I wouldn't call that so much of an oh my God handle or an oh crap handle or anything like that, but I guess out on the trail, if it gets a little scary, maybe when you're out climbing mountains or something. And there is the interior of the glove box. And a quick look into the interior from the driver's side door. Obviously, you're going to have power mirrors. Here are the controls for managing that, controls for the headlights, and right here is the release that you can push down on to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And as I mentioned earlier, push button start, even though you have the option of using the key if you need to. And we'll take a quick look at the dashboard right here, just so you can see what that looks like. Yeah, we're kind of low on gas, but that is okay. We're not far from the dealership. And a very simple to use but highly effective screen right here, the infotainment screen. That's one thing I really like about Jeep, is that everything is very easy to use, very easy to figure out, and depending on what you want to do, you can control everything with the air conditioner here on the screen, or you have that option right here to control everything kind of the old school way, with some buttons and some knobs you can turn. So it just depends on what you really want to do. And let's take a look at what the backup camera looks like. We'll get into reverse and take a quick look at that, just so you can see what's there. Trajectory lines, and obviously a very clear image. That is always a plus. And then here you can see that you do have the heated seats, the heated steering wheel, heated seats for the driver and the passenger here in the front. That's going to make a difference on nice cold days, especially, well, if they want to run around with the doors off. I don't know that I would do that when it's nice and cold outside, but everybody's different. And we'll just keep taking a look here at what else we have. There's a lot here, but it's so easy to figure out, so easy to use. I'm not going to go through everything and just tell you everything individually and, you know, really do an in-depth tour. But as you can see, here is navigation. We'll take a look at exactly how that works. There is quite a bit here in the way of options and capabilities. So depending on what you want to do, well, there is everything you need to see. And we'll go back here. Let's just take a quick look at what the on-screen map looks like, just so you can know, because I know a lot of you are going to ask about that. I don't have a phone connected, so can't really do a whole lot there for you. And I am going to drop the temperature because it is a little warm in here. But obviously you can go through and make a lot of changes via settings if you wish to. And then down here, the controls for the windows, more connectivity. Obviously there is a reasonable amount of connectivity here within the Jeep, and control here for what you want to do with four-wheel drive. Obviously your shifter right there, and an old school parking brake. No power parking brake here, so if you don't like those power parking brakes, well, there is a plus for you. And the kind of a multitasker of sorts with the lid for the center console, because it's not just the lid for the center console, it's also capable of being an armrest for the driver and passenger, and a fairly deep console. And as you can see, an additional USB port down there. Okay, let's get out for a quick test drive here in the Jeep. If you're looking for the Jeep that will get up and run the fastest, well, you might want to consider the hybrid powertrain, because it makes 385 horsepower and it will get up and run. Once you're up and running and you drop the hammer on it, it's kind of surprising. But even at that, 280 horsepower is still not that bad. It's so funny to see some of the comments that people leave on some of these videos, such as my own, and talk about how 285 horsepower is just not enough. Well, it depends on your situation, but it is something to research if you haven't done so. There was a time many years ago when vehicles were making a lot less than 285 horsepower and people were surviving. So if that's a concern, well, not a big deal. And just driving around, what little driving I've done in this particular Jeep, I've noticed that it has absolutely no problem whatsoever getting down the road, getting up to speed, doing what I need to do. It's not meant to be a hot rod, obviously. It's not the 392, although I'd love to feature one of those here on my YouTube channel. But just cruising down the road here, I'm not pushing the pedal all that hard. I'm still having absolutely no trouble getting up to the speed limit and getting down the road. This Jeep has plenty of horsepower, and even with the added gear, as far as what you have with those taller tires and other factors that can go into that, it's still not a problem. So what is my ultimate verdict on this Jeep? Well, if you're looking something that starts out with a lot of great customization, it already has a very sharp look to it, well, I would say that this is definitely a great choice. And here's the good experience right here of seeing about getting down the road. I am having no trouble at all. If you're concerned about the horsepower number, and I can already hear people talking about that down in the comments section, I had absolutely no trouble right there getting up to the speed limit. In fact, getting up above the speed limit. This Jeep gets down the road just fine, but obviously the power and the torque are really going to come in handy out on the trail. If you go up into the mountains to have some fun there, any off-roading excursion that you may choose to take, well, obviously this Jeep can handle it with absolutely no problem. So now that I've spent my time talking, it's your turn. Well, actually not talking, but typing, because I want to hear from you down in the comments section. If you plan to buy a Jeep, tell me exactly what you plan to buy. And if you don't buy something that's already modded pretty good, such as this Black Widow version, what are your plans once you take your Jeep home? What options are you going to add? What things are you going to change? I'm very interested to know. I've got to say a special thanks to my friends at Hebert's Town & Country for loaning me this Jeep for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out another of the videos that is on the screen right now, and I will see you there.